movie looks incredible.
I hope it, yeah.
I know, well, I know, I heard what you said. We'll talk about the movie in the next segment because I want to learn a little bit more about you. So you are originally from England?
No, originally from Los Angeles, actually, from here, yeah.
So,
but I was raised in Surrey, which is a small, well, a county in a small town called Banstead in Surrey. Yeah.
And so how long did you live in England?
I've lived there all my life since I was 3 years old.
Oh, really?
And I started coming back to the States about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because, you know, from the Social Network, we don't know that accent, and suddenly I hear you talk, and you're not American at all, are you?
I'm sorry,
Well,
no, I know.
And yet you are American.
Yeah, I'm confused too about
very,
who
very
I am
confusing.
as a human being as well as, I know, it's a symbol of how I am.
Well, I loved you in that. I loved you in Never Let Me Go as well.
Thank you very much.
You were fantastic in that movie. That was a beautiful movie. And I understand, so you're in a tiny town in England, and you wanted to be a gymnast when you grew up?
That was something that I found myself doing, and I had a nice moment with that, and I was very young, and I realized that it probably wasn't for me at that young age, because there was a moment when I was, I think, 11, and I kind of came to consciousness in box splits with a very overweight man sat on my back, and I was just like, this is no place for a 11-year-old.
No.
I was kind of my own social worker.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this isn't.
No.
This isn't where you should be.
All of that sounds very wrong. It really does.
Yeah.
But it comes in handy for the movie to be able to be a little bit acrobatic.
It helps a great deal, yeah. No, and it was nice to be able to combine two things that I love so much in one thing. I'm a really bad driver, yeah. And a bad parker, yeah. I'm a weird driver. I've been told I'm a weird driver.
What you've been told you're a weird driver?
Yeah, like
weird in what way?
Like I crawl like an old man. Like I crawl. I'm a crawler. When I'm thinking or trying to figure out something.
You drive very slowly.
I can't multitask. Yes. But when I'm listening to hip hop, I can drive appropriately.
I see.
Not too fast, not too slow. It's just like very, very like good driving.
Yeah.
When I'm listening to very aggressive hip hop.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Like which aggressive hip hop song would you like to drive to appropriately?
Well, I've listened to a lot of Nas recently.
Love Nas.
You like Nas?
Yep. One Mic.
One Mic, that was my jam during Spider-Man, actually. Yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of justice to be done in that movie.
That's right. He just throws the mic down at the end.
Exactly.
All right. So when you're doing Spider-Man, were you in shape before, or did you have to? Because that. No. So all of a sudden you get the part and you have to like work out like crazy? Yeah,
like a literal crazy person.
Yeah.
It was a life change.
When the movie comes out, I would predict it's going to be a very, very successful movie, and you're not going to be able to go anywhere, which is very hard. That's going to be, you're going to get recognized. It's true. You're not going to be able to leave your home. So I want to help you be able to live your life and freely and go around. So. What I made you is, this is all, see, it's all one thing. So you just put that on.
It's easy access as well as stylish.
Yes, so you don't have to, because 2 things to put on is too busy. So you just put the whole thing on, and then there's a mustache here also.
Okay.
That, here, you want to put that on just to see what.
You want to try that first?
Yeah.
This goes there, right?
It goes there on the mustache area. Already, I don't recognize you.
Okay. Let's see this.
Oh. Where did Andrew go? I don't. That is a good look.
I feel like I should do a German accent.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be a German man. Some description.
What a year you're having.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no.
It's amazing.
It's good to be alive, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're having quite a year, and you were great in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. You're great in Tick, Tick, Boom, and Spider-Man, and like what the most successful movie in all time or something. It's crazy.
It's pretty weird.
Golden Globe already. You won a Golden Globe. Now you're getting Oscar buzz. I mean, we should just say Oscar buzz. You'll be nominated for sure. I mean, you
can't. How do you?
For sure. So Golden Globes, unfortunately, was not live. So you found out on Twitter. So
actually, I was on the phone with my director, with Lin-Manuel Miranda, who directed Tick, Tick, Boom, who we all love and know, and I started getting some text messages, and I just kind of like briefly glanced at my phone while I was driving, and I said, "Oh, Lin, I won the Golden Globe." And he was like, and he said, "Oh, that's great, buddy. Let me tell you about my vacation." And so it was kind of like it was a very sweet kind of, but later on, like 24 hours later, I sent him a voice note, kind of semi-sobbing, and saying, if you had told me 3 or 4 years ago that I would be not only in a musical directed by my musical theater hero, singing and playing piano and doing all that stuff, but that it would be seen by so many people and it would be touching so many people, and then on top of that to have people giving you things, saying well done for it, like gold mugs and statues and all those kind of things, I would have called you a liar to your face, and I would have slapped you with a fish, and I would have been very upset with you for lying to me. And so I'm just very deeply moved and kind of touched that I get to be a part of this film and to have it received in this way.
Well, you're brilliant in it, and to think that you didn't sing before this, you didn't play piano before this. I mean, the dialogue alone, like everything that you're doing in it. But in case people don't know the story, it's based on a true story. It's a true story about.
Yeah, it's about a man called Jonathan Larson. For people who aren't familiar with, some of you are, that's nice. You know, he wrote Rent. Which was the musical that changed musicals forever, kind of brought musical theater and rock music together and revolutionized the medium. And he wrote a musical just before Rent called Tick, Tick, Boom, which is what our film is based on. And basically, he wrote it in response to all of the failure that he had experienced in his life. And it was like the industry was telling him to give up every single day. He would wake up every morning to a stack of rejection letters from every producer, theater company, record label, and he would still sit at his keyboard, sing and play in his downtown New York apartment, because he knew deep down that he had something very, very special to give to the world. So it's the story of him realizing that he has to follow this dream, even though the world is telling him maybe he should give up. He has to follow it for himself, to be a musical theater writer, but also he has to follow it for his community, which was being ravaged by a different pandemic, a different epidemic at the time, which was the AIDS epidemic in the 90s in New York City specifically, where our story is set. So his community of artists and activists and dancers and singers, they were all, you know, a lot of them were getting sick and dying at a very, very young age. So it's in the process, in this musical, he becomes the ally, the activist, the voice of this lost generation of artists. And he ends up, after this musical, writing Rent and changing the world. So
and then he didn't live long enough to really enjoy it.
It's a remarkable thing for those of you who haven't seen the film. And he dies at the age of 36 of an aortic aneurysm, and he died the night before the first preview of Rent off Broadway. So all his life, it's so deeply moving and tragic and just so beautiful, because it's like you think about the great artists that never get their flowers while they're alive, but they still wake up every morning because of some strange inner destiny, some strange inner pull that says, I've got to sing, I've got to dance, I've got to create, and everyone is telling me I should give up, but for whatever reason, I have to keep doing it. He didn't know that he was going to write the musical to change all musicals, or maybe somewhere deep down he did. And the fact that he never got to receive those flowers while he was alive makes it even more special that we get to talk about it now, and that wherever Jonathan is, we can say, we know you, we are so grateful for you, for the music that you left behind, for that unfinished song that you left behind, because anyone who's touched by the ripples of Jonathan Larson, their lives are just enhanced. They are reminded of the beauty and the meaning of life. So this is for John, this is for John.
Well, you honored him beautifully. Yeah. Spider-Man, let's talk about that.
Okay.
So, you had to lie to so many people. How long did it take to make the movie? It was like a couple of years, right? How many years did you lie to people?
That is an unfair framing. It was, I lied to people for a good 2 years, and I lied to the internet for 2 years, and it felt great.
Who knew, besides your agent, who knew that you were doing this? I mean, how hard is that to keep it to, like, I mean, it's your family knew?
Yeah, my dad, my brother,
okay,
and my mother at the time, and yeah, just kind of us. It was fun to keep it secret, because you know when you're planning a surprise birthday party for someone, and they're like, I hate surprises. Tell me, is the party happening? No, seriously, Ellen, don't mess around because you know I actually hate surprises. And I can see on your
Yeah,
face, you're just
yeah.
like, I'm not going to tell you,
Yeah.
Mother Hubbard. You're not going to know. So it felt like I was part of organizing a surprise birthday party for a bunch of people who I knew would appreciate it.
Everyone appreciated it. We loved seeing you in it. We loved seeing you.